Hey listeners, are you thinking about starting your own podcast? Well, do I have the app for you? It's called Anchor. Anchor will get you out on Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, and many, many others. Not only that, Anchor will find you sponsorship so you can get paid. That again is Anchor.fm, Anchor.fm. Welcome to Abe's Front Porch Talk. This is going to be part 2 of the Skinwalkers. I'm going to be starting with paragraph 6, but before I go there, remember, in the last episode, Skinwalkers are actually known as witches that used to be humans. So you have to be careful when you see a skinwalker. And remember, we also stated too in one of these paragraphs that if you stare a skinwalker down into the eyes, they can absorb your body, which means they can possess your body and take your body completely over and do whatever they want to with it. So maybe this is how at one time that skinwalkers used to be humans, and when they came up on one of these things, they just froze and stared it down in the eyes, and it took over the body. So that person is no longer human. They have become a skinwalker, and they can transform. So let's go on, and let's start with paragraph 6. There's a ranch in Utah called Skinwalker Ranch, because there have been so many sightings. Spring break anyone? As it states there in the same paragraph, I believe I will do my spring break elsewheres. I'm not going to go there to do my spring break. No. I don't feel like becoming absorbed, having one of these skinwalkers stare me down or eat my face, as it said up in the first few paragraphs of last episode I talked about. I'm not, no. I'll go somewhere else, and that'll be the safest bet for both of us. Yeah, no, I don't know about what you listeners are wanting, but me? No. I got enough issues. I got enough problems I have to deal with. I don't need to be possessed by a skinwalker and make them take over my body and do whatever it's going to do. Yeah, no. Let's move on to paragraph 7. The word for skinwalker in the Navajo language is Ye Now Dushi. I don't really know how to pronounce that word, just trying to sound it out as it's spelled. The word translates to he who walks on all fours, which really makes the next fact that much more horrific. Well, we learned in the last few paragraphs on up that, hey, they can take over your body. They also transform into animals, so I could see them walking on all fours. But can you imagine being at the Skinwalker Ranch on vacation or out in your own yard, no matter where you live at, and one of these things come up to you, or you see this thing come running by you? What would you do? And I was watching some YouTube videos last night, listening at the sounds that these skinwalkers are supposedly to make. So since they can take form of animals, they sound just like these animals. And you have to be careful with these things because you don't know what if it really is an animal or if it really is a skinwalker, especially late at night. And I imagine they only come out at night. I don't know. They could come out during the daytime, but me personally, I believe they probably just come out at night, as most of a lot of supernatural stuff does. Now there are some supernatural beings or other things in the supernatural realm can come out during the day. But now I don't know if skinwalkers do walk at night. I haven't found that yet. Maybe if we keep reading, we'll learn this together. But for as of right now, till I learn further, I will let you know. But can you imagine just walking out into your yard, or if you live out in the woods somewheres, and one of these things come up to you and you thought it was a dog, and you're like, oh, little puppy, or oh, look at the doggy, it must be hungry. And you go to feed it, and next thing you know, it's done eating your face off. Yeah, you fed it all right. You thought that poor doggy was hungry. It was hungry after your face, what it was. Yep. Now what you gonna do? You ain't got a face. If you even live through it. And talking about a skinwalker and a dog, that was kind of just creepy. The dogs outside in the yard now are barking like crazy. And that just kind of creeped me out. And no joke, folks, I got to tell you this before I go on to paragraph 8. After I did the episode last night of the Skinwalkers, I had all the lights turned out in my house, and I was laying on the couch watching a YouTube video because I was curious about what skinwalkers look like, or, if anybody's caught them on camera, and the sounds they make. And that's how I learned they sound just like the form they take over from an animal. Well, I was laying there on the couch, just the TV on, and I have a warmer that lights up that you put oils into, fragrant oils. And that's the only light there was, so it wasn't a whole lot of lighting, basically, from the TV. And after I watched a couple of videos of these skinwalkers, I changed it over to something else to watch some people exploring on YouTube and where they've been. And I was like, I need now to watch some of this so I don't have nightmares for watching all this other stuff. Would you believe within like 2 minutes of me swapping over to something different, the house phone rings at 11:30 at night and scared me to death when that thing rung. And I'm like, crap. And I forgot that I had told a friend of mine to call me when they got off from work. And I said, and I had told them the night before, I said, well, when you get off from work, please give me a call and we'll discuss some plans for the weekend. So he calls me at 11:30 after he got off from work, and I had actually forgotten about it. But it was just creepy. I was just watching these things about skinwalkers and then trying to get my nerves kind of calmed down to watch something nice where people's been traveling, and then that happens. Yeah, can you imagine how I jumped up off the couch? So let's go on to episode 8. Not episode 8, I'm sorry. Lord, listen at me. See, I've done got my nerves so tore up even talking about what I experienced last night. I don't even know what I'm doing now. Scaring my own self talking about the skinwalkers trying to get through this. Paragraph 8. Skinwalkers can run far greater distance than normal people. They're said to be able to run for 200 miles at a time. Well, I'm just going to be honest. I don't know anybody that can run 200 miles. So maybe they can. I don't know anybody. I know I can't run no 200 miles or less than that. I'm doing pretty good just to walk a mile. Let me put it to you this way. I do good right now to chew gum and walk at the same time. And I'm being sarcastic on that. I said that before to somebody and they're like, can you not really chew gum and walk at the same time? I'm like, yes, you big dummy, I can. I was saying that as a joking way. But you know what I'm getting at. Sometimes you have days where you just feel like you can't chew gum and walk at the same time. So those of you who ever been in my shoes, you know what I'm getting at. But that's good to know. So if they can run 200 miles at a time, and you might be one of those who can only run a half a mile or less, you better run to a house where you can get inside the doors and lock them up and hope they don't come through a window or beat the door down. I don't know. Or run somewhere safe. If you can get to a car, I guess you can better get in there and hope the windows are rolled up. I don't know what to tell you. Paragraph 9. Stay away from graveyards. Skinwalkers like to hang out there while they dig up graves quickly. Well, first of all, you're not going to catch me in a graveyard at night, I don't think, anyways. I have been there, but I was with a group of people. I don't like it. You may say, well, it's the safest place to ever be at night because a lot of people don't want to go in those places at night. Well, that's up to you. You can go on. And can you imagine going to see your loved one's grave and one of these things digging up your loved one? Can you imagine this? I mean, could this even be real that a skinwalker will do stuff like this? But I wouldn't know what to think if I went to a cemetery and saw somebody digging up a loved one's grave. Especially a skinwalker. Paragraph 10 says, but why dig up a grave? Some skinwalkers can take the powder from corpses and then use the dust as poison on their victims. So, I'm trying to figure out on this paragraph, are they talking about powder that they use in these funeral homes during the makeup process? Before they lay your loved ones out, do they put like some type of powder to bring the skin color out? And maybe that powder from the corpse to the skinwalkers is poison, and somehow or another maybe they do something to it. I don't know. Or is the powder poison that they use on the bodies at the funeral homes? I wouldn't think so, because if that powder was poison that was laying on your loved one at the funeral home, I imagine the morticians would tell you you could not touch your loved ones or try to kiss them or anything, because you've seen people that's lost a parent or a child or a spouse, and that one that remains, they try to go in for the last hug and they just want to kiss them for the last time too. And I've seen this at funerals among many different families. So I imagine that's not the case. It must have something to do when the skinwalker gets it onto their hands. they must do something to the powder that can be turned poisonous. So I wouldn't want to be a victim of them digging up one of my loved ones and they get the powder and blew it on me. Or some stranger from the cemetery that maybe you're there and you don't even know that it's a skinwalker digging up someone else's grave that you don't even know who the person that's laying there is. And then they take the powder from that stranger and blow it onto you or used it on you somehow and you became their victim. That's not good. Is it? I'm wondering if it would be like to make you freeze. Maybe a poison to make you freeze so they can stare into your eyes and absorb your body. Or so they can make you freeze in one place and they can steal your face and you can't do nothing. I don't know. That's a good question. Paragraph 11. When they're not transformed into animals, witnesses have described skinwalkers as hollowed out creatures that look a little like dogs. Well, that just gives the meaning to what I was saying earlier about them taking forms of dogs and you petting that thing and trying to feed it. Yeah, I still don't know about that. Looking like a hollowed out dog. No, I still better know your dogs. Better know what your dog looks like. You sure your little pet you got inside is a dog or a skinwalker? Maybe you'll set a video camera up, watch your little house doggy or your dogs out in the yard to see what they really do. But don't forget, skinwalkers walk on all fours too. So if you got your dogs in a fence and they open up the fence and walk out of it, you better think twice. Anyways, let's go on to paragraph 12. Skinwalkers aren't allowed to enter a home unless invited. It's common decency, people. Sorry, I can't even talk. It's just common respect for the people. Let's put it that way. I can't even pronounce the word and I say it every day. And I'm still looking at it. See? I done got myself so torn up over this now just reading this. Done got myself all worked up. But that's good to know. At least when I just said in one of the paragraphs, you can run inside your home if you ever walk up on one in your yard and lock up the doors and stuff. Make sure they can't come in. That just proves in that one paragraph they won't come into your home. So you got to invite them in. Yep, I wouldn't do it. Nope. Paragraph 13 says, so you want to become a skinwalker? There are many different theories on how they come to be, but the most prevalent speaks of an official ceremony where people become skinwalkers through a gathering with specific charms and chants. No, like I said, I got enough problems. I don't need you absorbing my body and taking it over without my permission. And why can't they, if they can't enter a home unless invited, but yet they can just take your body over if you stare them down into the eyes. Now, I see something messed up right here now. That's not right. That should be a choice. Or they just take your face. Just take your face right off of you because they want to. That's messed up. Oh, now we can't come into your home unless you invite us in out of respect. But you can, but I can absorb your body and take your body completely over and make it do whatever I want when you stare me into my eyes, or I can eat your face off of you anytime I want. Unless you inside your home. No, That's all messed up. Boy, that's a messed up and a half right there. And I don't think I will be wanting to become a skinwalker anytime soon. So I'll stay away from all of that. I'm happy the way I am. Paragraph 14. One of the other, one of the ritual acts to become a skinwalker involves killing and then eating someone close to them. By performing this act, the soon to be skinwalkers lose any humanity left in them. Beware, once you're a skinwalker, you can't undo it. Well, that's good to know. Well, why would anybody want to choose to be a skinwalker unless you're very evil? I wouldn't want to. That don't even sound fun. I hate to know. I had a close friend and took me somewhere like that, and then they wanted to be a skinwalker, and then they want to try to eat me. Oh man, that's kind of messed up. That ain't kinda, it is messed up. Paragraph 15. If you can get past their endurance, shape shifting abilities, and possible coven, it's said that you can kill a skinwalker by calling them by their true pre-skinwalker name. Okay, well now at least we know what we can do is by calling them by their true pre-skinwalker name. But do you think they're going to tell you what it is? Or do you call them by the names that you know them by before they became a skinwalker? So how do you know what their names is? Either way, sounds like to me this whole thing is a messed up situation and they've got you every which way there is. That's a messed up situation. Right there. Boy, those last few paragraphs there is all messed up. Kinda like some contradiction in there somehow. Do you believe skinwalkers exist? Have you ever experienced a skinwalker? If you have, let me know on Abe's Front Porch Talk. If you have Castbox, you can leave a comment for these 2 episodes. And I will try to put this one up on my YouTube channel, and leave a comment and let me know if you believe in skinwalkers or if you have experienced a skinwalker, and let me know how you experienced it and what had happened. And did it harm any of your animals, or did it try to harm you, or was you scared? Just let me know. Castbox, if you got that podcast out, leave a comment on Abe's Front Porch Talk. Once again, my YouTube videos are Abe's Front Porch Talk. Leave a comment there as well. Thank you for listening to Abe's Front Porch Talk. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, I've got the link here offline that I was reading. Everything I was reading came off a line. So you can probably go into your Google search bar and type in Skinwalker, and there seems to be several different links, and I just picked one, and I was just reading off of it that I found. Thank you so much. Have a great night.